So I joined season 13 of the Nodenium SMP. Apparently, it's a haven for builders who want to take their builds to the next level, whatever that means. Luckily for me, they've been playing for a while now and have already given me all the gear I needed to get started. It was actually really nice of them. They even gave me a whole tour of the server, so...
Yeah, you would see a bunch of cool Amundsen statues around.
Like this one.
Where's the entrance?
I think it's only Elytra accessible.
Maybe.
I have no clue.
What is the entrance? Is it here?
If you come up to like the top of the rocket, yeah.
Oh,
The average Project Nodenium starter base.
This is
Oh,
a starter
I
house.
completely forgot. This is a starter base with ancient debris on it? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
It seems they messed up in the application process somehow if I was able to get in. So yeah, I really got to think of something for my starter base. Luckily, I came up with a list of just a few things I want to get done. Pull up the graphic if I'm not lazy enough to edit it. Boom. Number one is actually finding a place to stay. So I gotta find a place to settle in this beautiful mess. So cue the montage. Yeah, so since joining the server, I actually haven't had a lot of hours playing in survival. I've spent 50, 60 hours on Minecraft since joining the server, and I think 50 of those hours have been designing this build that I'm gonna make. It's gonna be big. So pretty much with the island all flattened, I have a place where I can store all the items I'm going to need, and there are a lot of items, so let me go do that really quick. Alright, so I just finished mining all of these blocks, and I was just talking with some members on the server. I was showing off the build I have in creative, and I told them how many blocks I would need to farm, and it's around like 150,000 total. And they were looking at the build, they were like, are you sure you need that many blocks? Like, it looks like it doesn't need that many blocks. And I'm like, yeah, I checked the schematic and everything, and turns out I didn't hollow my mountain enough. Oh my god, the realization that all of these blocks that I mined were for nothing. If you take a look, you can see the materials list. Boom, I put it on the left. And then compare it. Boom, I put it on the right. You can see just how many blocks off I was. So I pretty much just mined out a day's worth of stone for no reason. That's fine, that's whatever. You can even, I actually have a clip of me realizing what happened. So you guys can take a look. Here you go. Bro, it changed so much. It cut it by like 100,000 blocks.
I told you.
Oh my god! You're kidding me! I spent like the whole day farming stone. Ugh.
Bro, you could have asked
Oh
me.
my god! I didn't
I
need 24 shulker boxes worth of andesite.
Yeah, when you said that amount, I was like, huh, that seems a lot.
God damn it! Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. If I found out sooner, it would have saved me so much more time. Well, I do still have a lot more materials I need to gather, a lot of deep slate tuff, so I'll just be doing that. See y'all. All right, so I pretty much gathered all the materials I'll be needing for this build, and I know I haven't really explained what exactly I'm building, but I want to leave that as a surprise for the end of the video. And I'll let you guys into my thought process on how I built it, like the references I've used. And I want to just talk about future plans I have for this base and for the rest of the season, because this is only one small part of what I plan to build for my base. And before we get into building, if you guys do or have enjoyed any part of this video, please feel free to subscribe. Anyways, let's get building. So I've spent the last 12 or so hours building the start of my base, and I started this build at around 500 minutes on the server, and now I'm at 2,435 minutes. If someone wants to do the math on that, they can. Me, it felt like an eternity building that mountain. I think I spent like at least 12 plus hours just building up this mountain, and it's only the start. So it's kind of hard to find a place to view this build just because it's in the middle of an ocean, but I want to explain just a bit of my thought process when going into building something like this, especially when it comes to just terrain, terraforming in general. With any terraforming project, you have to get the shape right. And so if you guys want to look at these reference images, boom, boom, you can see what I was kind of going for was kind of these like Chinese mountain artistic paintings where you have those really high peaks as well. Hopefully that shape was able to come across for you guys. If you can see these like the peaks of the cliff, right? Now, if I kept this just a simple gradient from dark to light, if I just kept it a simple gradient, it would be really hard to make out some of the shapes of these peaks. For instance, if I were to just hide underneath this little mountain right here, you notice you can't really differentiate this peak from this one over here. They kind of just blend in together, right? But with the way I ended up shading my mountain, I had it so that the backs of these peaks would kind of cast a bit of shadow onto the mountain face behind it. You can clearly see a defined shadow right here. And this was intentional because if I'm viewing the mountain head on, it kind of gives the peak a bit of a black outline just so you can see it a bit better. And I have this technique for pretty much every single peak. You've got a black outline just so that you can see this mountain here. Same with these two little mountains here, and same with those peaks over there. Now, when it comes to the trees don't really have leaves, and that's because I really wanted the leaves to look like the same leaves you see in the paintings where it's the Chinese red pine trees, and those leaves are very jagged. So regular Minecraft block leaves didn't really get the look I was looking for. Plus, you're only really gonna see the trees when you're kind of flying into the base. You're not gonna be really seeing them up close. So I used fences and fence gates. Now, from up close again, the tree looks kind of atrocious, but just zoom out a bit, take a step back. You can notice the trees fit really well with the aesthetic or with the landscape, especially if you take a look at the reference that I was using. I guess finally you'll notice these waterfalls that I have here. The technique I use to create these waterfalls are really similar to BOO's waterfalls that he has in his survival let's play world, so I kind of wanted to mimic that. You'll see I use the stained glass in long chunks to kind of mimic water rushing down the falls. I decided to add waterfalls, namely, because without them, the build actually looked very bland. So by having the waterfalls around, it kind of just added a little bit of life, especially with these massive tall cliffs. It's just pure gray, so I kind of wanted to divvy it up a bit with just some interesting things you could look at. If you haven't noticed, or if you're able to pick up on what I wrote here, I'm not too great at writing in Chinese, but what this spells is Sui Bian Guang. And essentially what that translates to is Sui Bian Temple. And Sui Bian means whatever. It's like, whatever, I'm gonna just name it this. So like, I just named it whatever temple. You'll notice that the build is very incomplete. And I mean, the mountain's complete. It's just that there's nothing on the mountain. That's because this is just the start of my mega base. Those of you who are keen enough to pick up on what I'm actually building here, I'm planning to recreate all of Failume Heights from the game Zenless Zone 0. So currently, this mountain does seem pretty dead, but in the next episode, I do plan on really fleshing out this build a bit more, especially when it comes to adding buildings, maybe adding a bit more greenery, just because this mountain is really gray. This is just the start, so if you guys like the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. That's the 3 things you're supposed to do, I think. I still have a lot more work to be done, but I'll probably see y'all in the next one.